Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube Astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Cancer on June 23rd, 2017. Well, for those of you that don't know, as far as the new moon in general goes, well, the new moon could be a period, new moon in astrology, can be a period where one shows a lot of initiative, enterprise. It's about new beginnings. It could be a very rejuvenating and revitalizing time. This could be a time also where you may pursue new aspirations with a lot of vigor, vitality, and energy. And it could also be a time where you may obliterate something that may be in your way that may have prohibited you from making any kind of headway or progress. This is also what to know about the new moon is that often what can, or at least sometimes what could start on a new moon can culminate with a full moon. So what could start perhaps with this new moon in Cancer on June 23rd, 2017 may culminate in the full moon in Capricorn, which is on July 9th, 2017. And of course, the zodiac sign Cancer can feel this very strongly as far as this new moon goes, as they do with all phases of the moon and even the transits of the moon, because of course the zodiac sign Cancer is ruled by the moon. And I think a lot of this has to do with why the zodiac sign Cancer is so changeable and temperamental. They are very sensitive to these transits. I have my sun in Cancer. Now, anyone with when I say Cancer, that has Cancer prominent in his or her chart, and when I say prominent, of course, I'm talking about a Cancer sun, moon, or ascendant, they could feel this very strongly, but people collectively of all signs will feel this strongly as well, but Cancer even more so. Now, also keep in mind, too, I'm going off on a Gemini moon tangent here, people, but keep in mind, too, I think what's interesting is that the moon, being less than 250,000 miles away from Earth, I think I'll look for this because of this. A lot of people may resonate actually more with their moon sign as opposed to the sun sign because of this, and I think that's very interesting. Now, anyway, as far as the new moon in Cancer goes, well, the new moon in Cancer can signify some new, perhaps beginnings pertaining to one's home, family. It could be some remodeling that begins with the new moon in Cancer. In some cases, it could be a new arrival of a family member. Let's say that somebody has the new moon in Cancer transit in their 5th house. This could signify a new child, perhaps. If the moon falls in the person's 4th house, this could just be a family member in general. And also anything Cancer related, something connected with cooking, perhaps. It might be a time where somebody, let's say this falls in someone's 9th house of higher education. Perhaps somebody starts a new course in some culinary studies or something, or learns cooking. So those are some things to look at. 6th house, it could be. I mean, keep in mind too that the new moon in Cancer can also be about something new that you want to nurture. It could be something nostalgic that might be new that you start. I mean, something that reminds you of the past. Cancer energy is often very reflective and reminiscing. The thing too is, I mean, let's say for example, the new moon in Cancer falls is in your 6th house. This could be a new pet that you get that you want to nurture and show a lot of tender TLC and a lot of care for and a lot of sensitivity toward, and that sympathetic Cancer energy, of course. Now, also keep in mind with what often can start with the new moon in Cancer, or new moon in general astrology, can end and culminate with the full moon. Now, the new moon in Cancer is June 23rd, 2017. Full moon in Capricorn will take place on July 9th, 2017. This could be For example, it could be something where somebody, does start something new connected with new moon in Cancer, something very contemplative, where the contemplation perhaps leads to some new career. Could culminate with a career decision, and that, of course, is associated with Capricorn. Somebody might start a new foundation or foundations, which is associated with the zodiac sign Cancer, could ultimately end perhaps with a changed stature in life and perhaps some attainment of an ambition. So, which of course is Capricorn related. A new property might be remodeled. Property is, of course, associated with the zodiac sign Cancer, and it might develop into a business development, which, of course, is associated with the zodiac sign Capricorn. Now, I'm going to have this it's also important to look at the house that it's in, as this could impact the transit. I'm going to have this transit in my second house, so this could be something connected with the new financial endeavor that I might embark on or start. And it's also going to conjunct, it's also important to look at the aspects that are made by this new moon transit as well. And it's, in this case with me, it's going to make a conjunction to my Mercury in the second house. So I have to make sure that I'm thinking rationally during this time, and that emotions are not going to be clouding my thinking, especially being in Cancer, which of course Cancer is not known, the zodiac sign Cancer is not exactly known for being subjective. So anyway, also, look at the degree is 2 degrees that this new moon in Cancer is going to take place, and I do believe in the Sabian symbols and what they mean. And given that it's in 2 degrees, that whatever you might start with this new moon in Cancer might be, let's say, manipulated, but it might be impacted by somebody of the opposite sex. And also, I think too, what you want to look at too, also there, what I think is interesting about this is you're going to have a Mars squaring Jupiter during this time, and that, this could show being impetuous, distorted energy, but it could show some over exuberance and optimism in what you may be doing. So when this new moon hits, just be careful that you're not overly exuberant, optimistic, that you proceed with caution if you're going to embark on something new when this new moon hits on June 23rd, 2017, that you don't become overly cocky or overconfident, that you look at the fine details and really make sure you're seeing everything before you start something. So, and also, Mars square Jupiter can also be about disputes over philosophical differences, so that's something to look at as well, because it might show there might be an argument if you're trying to start something new and you're collaborating on it with someone else. It's possible. I think this increases the chances of having perhaps an argument take place over this with somebody about this new thing that you might embark on. Now, Mercury also will be conjuncting the moon on this day, so also be careful that, because emotions could dominate thinking at this time as well, and make sure that if you make any decisions in starting something new, that you do it rationally and try to be as objective as you possibly can. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for the new moon in Cancer on June 23rd, 2017. Stay tuned next time, where I will be continuing my series on Vesta in the houses. 2 things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.